Okay, so what gets audited? Why are we auditing? What happens with this information? Common questions that people ask me when I'm up in the unit doing the audit. So I am mandated to do audits on CarePlan as our site coordinator way back when we started on Epic in 2013. And I actually have trend data that goes back all the way to our go live date about care planning. We only audit inpatient charts, even though in Hood River we care plan on our patients all the same way. If they're a swing bed, or really if they're an EHOP patient, we do care planning on everybody. But for my system audit, I only report the patients that meet inpatient criteria for at least 24 hours at the time that I conduct the audit. It's totally random who gets audited. Really, I go up to the unit between 1 and 4 days a month, and I do every patient that meets criteria. And I have to do at least 10 a month. That's basically what our volume demands to be a valid audit volume. And some months I do a little bit more, but generally I shoot for the 10. And in addition to the minimum requirements of my system audit, I do a lot more deeper dives into making sure that the correct CPGs are applied. So most of you on day shift have probably received coaching from me about selection of CPGs, about missed shift summaries, individualization, all those sorts of things that I notice during the time of my audits. And night shift, I've tried to send emails both to really praise some of the great care planning that I observe in the care plan audits, and also to offer some coaching about where some deficits are and opportunities for improved reliability. And then what do we do with the data? So really, in the beginning, we just wanted to get our arms around, both at a system level and a local level, of like, what's our baseline? We didn't do audits on care plans before we went up on Epic. So I can't speak to what our efficacy on care plan requirements were before then. So we needed to get a pretty decent baseline. And what our baseline really shows us is a lack of reliability in key components of care planning. And now we're at a place, both at a system level and a local level, where we know we really need to focus in on this. Some important parts to remember, and actually I was having this conversation with Alan a couple weeks ago, is that care planning is required both by the Oregon State Board of Nursing in your scope of practice definition, and by CMS and by Joint Commission. And so it's not optional. It's not one more thing. It is, the regulatory agencies will in fact be asking all of you to articulate the impact of your care planning in the care of a patient. So we want to make sure that your care plans reflect the great care you provide, and that you can speak to that when anybody asks, whether it's me or your patients or the Joint Commission.